Speedway Report is a production of ZTV. Formula One looks to have a new sheriff in town. Josef Newgarden finally closes a deal on 2021. And where have all our July 4th traditions gone? We're going to take a look at it. Welcome to Speedway Report, Monday, July the 5th, 2021. From the shores of Lake Norman in Race City, USA, Mooresville, North Carolina, I'm Patrick Reynolds. Thanks for joining the fastest, half-hour-ish podcast in racing. Big thanks to Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce for today's t-shirt. Like I said, used to wear a shirt and tie. You're going to recognize me more in a t-shirt than you will a shirt and tie. And as a reminder, like every week, subscribe to our YouTube channel and just Speedway Report with Patrick Reynolds. Plug it in. YouTube will be delivered to you, and you never have to look for us. Let's hit up the Speedway Report Victory Lane lap from this July 4th Independence Day weekend here in the good old US of A. NASCAR Cup cars were in Road America. That's right, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, for the first time since the 50s. And the first time on Independence Day weekend. Chase Elliott continued his road course dominance yesterday by taking the win. In Saturday's Xfinity Series race, Kyle Busch won his 101st race in the series history. Guy keeps knocking them up and mowing them down. Also on Independence Day, the IndyCar Series raced in Mid-Ohio, where Josef Newgarden did win, like we talked about. And in Formula One in Austria, Max Verstappen went for his second win in a row in Austria. Got the pole, led all 71 laps for the win. NASCAR's ARCA Series West machines raced Saturday night in Irwindale, California, where Jesse Love took the checkered flag. In Watkins Glen, New York, they hosted the IMSA Series. Pipo Derani and Felipe Nasser shared driving duties in the 6-hour race there on Friday to kick off the holiday weekend. Lucas Oil Late Models raced in Portsmouth, Ohio, where Jonathan Davenport won on Friday night. And in Zanesville, Tim McCready, Little T, takes the checkered flag in the A-Main on Saturday night. World of Outlaw Sprints were in Wisconsin as well as NASCAR. In New Richmond, Wisconsin, Brad Sweet won both Friday and Saturday's A-Mains. USAC Sprints raced in Indiana. They were in Plymouth on Thursday night, where C.J. Leary was your winner. In Putnamville on Friday, Leary won it again. Could not pull out the wins on Saturday. Also in Putnamville, Kevin Thomas Jr. was your winner there. USAC Midgets raced in Saturday night in Brownsburg. Cody Swanson took the checkered flag as they shared the twin bill with the SRX Series, won by Ernie Francis Jr. Grandville, Pennsylvania was sadly rained out. Their Firecracker 40 will be held this coming Saturday. I looked on the calendar, July 10th. And the Southern Modified Racing Series was in Asheboro, North Carolina for a traditional date there, the Rusty Hart Memorial Race. Gary Putnam won the 99-lap race for Tour-type mods as Bowman Gray Stadium had their traditional July 4th Independence Day weekend break. And Danny Dietrich was your Pennsylvania Sprint Car Speed Week champion. Josef Newgarden. My goodness, what was it going to take for this guy to drop a win in 2021? He's got the poles. He had 3 straight, led the most laps. He was starting to get the Heartbreak Kid. I was kind of feeling like a little Ward Burton or Harry Gant action from the 80s and 90s, as he just could not close the deal this year. Finally did it yesterday at Mid-Ohio. A beautiful road course, one of my bucket list tracks. Never been there, but those permanent road courses like that in Road America, we're just going to talk about in a little bit here. Definitely places I need to be, just haven't yet. Now, thumbs down to IndyCar for, as I record this live on July 5th, we've got to wait a month before their next race in early August. This is a series putting on great racing. I think this is, as far as a national scale, this far outreaches the NASCAR Cup Series for quality of racing and interest to me as well. I wish they had a whole lot more races, well above 20 and pushing 30. Well, I don't know if we need 30 of them or so. I like a series that leaves you wanting more, which the Cup Series does not. kind of it's there a lot all the time. NFL does the perfect sports TV model where at the end of the year, it seems like it just started, it went by quickly, and you want more and more and more. IndyCar could go that route with a later spring start and an earlier fall ending. However, this big gap in the middle of the summer, man, there's some weeks here. I wish there were so many tracks I wish they were on. Oh gosh, I don't know. New Hampshire, Pocono, Michigan, California. Yeah, oh, great. I'd love to have them everywhere again. But there's a lot of tracks that I would love to see the series return to. Just this big old break, kind of like that Formula One summer break that they have in the middle of their year. Gosh, where are they on the holidays? Well, I remember that old race, Cleveland. The Cleveland Airport used to have a traditional Independence Day weekend race. Missed that one. In Mid-Ohio for a long time, or for a while anyway, was a traditional Labor Day weekend race. I remember that shared the afternoon with the Southern 500, which made for a great long TV weekend. We watched the Southern 500. And then after Darlington, there was a wonderful tape-delayed version of the Mid-Ohio race. Yeah, I watched them all. I didn't miss a darn thing. But good to see the IndyCars back at Mid-Ohio. Great that they had a nice holiday weekend. I'd like to see the holiday traditions in weekends there stay put. I love building up a holiday weekend, tentpole traditions throughout a schedule, which we're going to touch on in a little bit later in the show. Max Verstappen, as we jump over to Formula One, is challenging Lewis Hamilton for playground bullies, so to speak. Not that he's driving dirty at all, but man, he is showing the rest of the field that he's the man right now. Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes seem to have, I don't know, slowed a step, half a step. Heck, his own teammate Valtteri Bottas saw the podium, and Hamilton did not. Still in second place in World Championship standings in Hamilton as Verstappen leads, but it looks like it's not just a one-off where Verstappen got a win, Hamilton would get a win, Hamilton get another win. It looks like, Verstappen will take a token second place. Not this year. It looks like Verstappen has come and he's real and he's not playing. He's serious and going to take that World Championship by the throat and bring it home with Red Bull. That's what it looks like right now. Lewis Hamilton has been down before, but he's bounced back in championship form. This could be a legitimate Red Bull Mercedes shootout that we have been waiting for a few years to formulate to be good enough. When Hamilton had trouble, Verstappen was also often the guy that was in place, put himself in position to pounce and get a good finish on this. So Verstappen doesn't look like he's in second place ready to pounce. It looks like he's in first place. Everybody's behind him. He's bringing the heat to Hamilton to see if he can counterattack and bring a challenge. It's good for Formula One to have a competition like this. I still have interest even through the dominant days of Mercedes and Hamilton, but when you get something like this where there's legit question and legit reasoning that we've got a race on our hands and there's no set winner already, that is good for F1 and brings everybody to the track, into television. And it was great to see people at the track in Austria as well. It's a fantastic crowd. Good to see people, no masks, elbow to elbow, getting back to living. Good for them. Can anyone tell me, while we're on the topic of Verstappen, why all his merchandise is the orange color that it is? What is that? I don't know what that is. I understand it. I was watching the F1 race yesterday, and Verstappen at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, go figure, his colors in the grandstand look like Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in the Budweiser days where the grandstands were largely red. The grandstands in Austria are largely orange for Verstappen. But why the color orange? Where does that come from? I tried Googling it, couldn't find it. If any of you listening, could you throw it in the comments, please, as to where Verstappen's orange colors come from? Why is that? It's not Red Bull colors. Let me know why. I'd love to know the origin of that. If you can shoot me something in the comments there. And up-and-coming driver, Lando Norris. He in that McLaren, he grabbed third place, was on the podium. He's the next guy to challenge. When Hamilton finally steps away. Verstappen will be the dominant driver. I think Lando Norris is the next guy in line to take up the mantle that Verstappen has now, is who's going to challenge the current hierarchy. Lando Norris is your guy. Now, come back to the United States from Europe. July 4th weekend. Independence Day. Where have all our traditions gone? Everybody looked at the NASCAR weekend in Road America as a wonderful thing, and I think it is. I think the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series belong at Road America. I think it's a fantastic facility, a lot of history here in the United States. Wisconsin is a great short track racing facility, a great road racing facility, popular with the sports cars, the road racing there at Road America, also the weekly short tracks as well. To bring the Cup and the Xfinity cars up there to Road America makes a whole lot of sense. What I question a lot of is July 4th weekend. The fact that it was a success at Road America is great. I'm not a fan of it on July 4th weekend. I worked on NASCAR teams. I know how brutally hot and humid it was at Daytona this time of year. I tell people that I used to, take notes on what we were doing. I had my pad, my notebook out, and the sweat from my face from looking down and trying to make notes over the weekend of what we were doing. Just as we documented everything, the sweat just dripped on the paper, and it was brutal on Monday when we got back to the shop because the notes were just hard to decipher. It was that hot down there. We all fought dehydration, pumping water and Gatorade into us. It was just a hot, hot weekend. However, the tradition was there that I really, really love. July 4th, let's talk about this a minute. It moved to under the lights in 1998. Now, the July wildfires that year pushed it back to October, which wouldn't be, October race in Daytona is kind of nice as far as weather goes. But July 4th, it returned in 99 and finally got that Independence Day, Saturday night weekend in. But I, like many of us, miss the July 4th 10 a.m. starts. There was an old adage of green flag at 10 and you're on the beach by 3. And a lot of the shops and teams closed for the week after July 4th. That changed during the 80s as the work ethic just in competition level just rose and you really couldn't give up a week of work. I'm a traditionalist. I think a lot of what NASCAR's problem is on the Touring Series is lack of tradition and trying to mess with it. You saw how that went with Darlington for about 10 years, where they lost about 10 years worth of fans because you pissed off the diehards and by moving the Southern 500 off of Labor Day weekend. I think there's some things that just work and you shouldn't mess with them too much. July 4th, no matter what day of the week it is, morning race, I think that'd be good. The nighttime race was once a novelty in the late 90s. However, how many times has that thing been delayed by rain and we throwing the green flag at 11 o'clock, midnight, things like that? I didn't stay up to watch those. I don't know. I prefer so much of what NASCAR does, they need to undo, and has been brutal in losing fans left and right. A move like this doesn't necessarily drive fans away, but repeatedly, straw by straw on the camel's back, they've messed with tradition and how we did things successfully in NASCAR, and they just undid it on paper, trying to do things better, but they haven't. The old adage, change is good. No, I disagree. Change can be good. Change can also suck too. I think the Cup Series needs to be back at Daytona. I think it needs to be back on July 4th. I think we need to have a morning green flag to beat the afternoon thunderstorms, and I think we need to continue to go to Road America simply on another date. In Wisconsin, not good for the spring, not good for the fall, but summertime, absolutely. June, July, or August, let's find a weekend for Cup and Xfinity, maybe even trucks at Road America, but let's bring the Cup Series back where it belongs on Independence Day weekend, or even July 4th itself. Bring it back to Daytona Beach for the Firecracker 400. And while I'm at it, I'm missing a lot of so many short track traditions that used to be a part of my world. the Independence Day weekend, where July 4th always had an evening race at Rolling Wheels Raceway in Elbridge, New York for the Big Black Dirt Modifieds. July 3rd was a race on the mile at Syracuse, New York. The mile fairgrounds dirt track doesn't even exist anymore. The fairgrounds does, the mile dirt doesn't. But we could do something with weed sport and Rolling Wheels and some other tracks. Gosh, we just have that big 4th of July weekend. Ransomville, Canandaigua. I miss those. The Ransomville Summer Nationals was a 2-day midweek event. On the pavement, Oswego used to hold twin 75s for the super modifieds and the pavement modifieds. Gosh, I miss those. The Ferrara 100 at Stafford Motor Speedway on Friday nights was just a big tradition. When they went away from weekly tour type racing in 87, I think it was, 86, they raced weekly tour cars at Stafford. 87, the tour cars were just there as a specials only format, and I think that was the first year we lost the Ferrara 100 from real modifieds, though we call them the tour cars, to SK racing, which was a different format, and it's just has not been the same since. These wonderful things are memories now, and I know things evolve and things change and nothing stays the same, but here are wonderful things from the past that you look at, and I can't find a good reason why we're still not doing them today. Sure, we can tweak them, alter them, modify them to fit current times, but the fact that they just stopped for not a good reason, for no good reason. Syracuse, I understand, because it got demoed. Okay, we don't have that race anymore. Well, Rolling Wheels is dormant. Weed Sport, come on. You know, even the Lebanon Valley, Fonda had a big race over the weekend in New York. They had washed out Saturday, but pushed to Sunday. Stuart Friesen won a $10,000 big race there. But there used to be like a week-long event. Some things like, gosh, Pennsylvania Speed Week always runs congruent to 4th of July weekend. There's some tradition to that, and the Big Block Modifieds had some tradition to them as running almost a week-long straight in 4th of July Independence Day. I miss those big money events. Even, the increased purse, it wasn't huge, so it'd break the track, but there's just lots of traditions there that I miss. Rolling Wheels, Syracuse, Oswego, Stafford Springs. Gosh, where did we all go? Where did they all go? Man, they're great memories. But there's nothing today that I think really brings back that memory to me right now. Like the Modified Tour, NASCAR's Whelen Modified Tour didn't even race over the weekend. Were there some independent shows? Probably. But I don't know. None of them fell on my radar. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. But I remember days before internet, I could not miss the information that was coming to me through all these other big events. And you really had to choose which one you wanted to go to or attend or be a part of. I miss all those. So many July 4th traditions, as we talk about a lot on this show. Traditions, old stuff, it's just gone. And why is it? Sometimes the reasoning just isn't there that it makes a lot of sense or logical. For some things, they just stop. In those cases, change, no. It's not good. And some of those have driven away fans, too. I had a Twitter follower put a poster over the weekend that 10 years ago he hopped on Twitter, and it was a constant NASCAR talk, debate. He would throw rocks at a hornet's nest. We would talk. And they're the same followers. Everybody over 4th of July weekend is out with the dogs. They're on the lake. They're boating. They're gardening. They're playing golf. And these are former NASCAR guys. And I sent a message to him. I retweeted back to him. I said, yeah, I used to never miss a lap. And now, meh. I know about the tradition of the Covenant Xfinity cars in Road America this weekend, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't see a lap of any of the races. I followed them online and read about them, but no, I really wasn't in front of my TV watching any of them. I was outside doing other things, hosting events, concerts, washing my truck. Yeah, just stages, playoffs, the whole picture. It's tough to swallow nowadays, but a good step with all that would be bring back our holiday traditions with that. Here's an idea also, well, I'd like you to throw into the comments. If you can help me out with Max Verstappen's orange colors, do a second one as well. The SRX Series is that raced at Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis this past Saturday night. What do you think of it? Is it actually going to be a challenge to NASCAR as it grows? Is it going to be the new IROC series? Where do you think the SRX is going? Do you like it? What do you like about it? Do you dislike it? What do you dislike about it? Tell me what you think of the SRX series. I want to know. I want to know what you think, what you've seen. Tell me what's on your mind. I would love to see and hear about it. With that, we'll bring our Independence Day weekend racer of the week to the forefront, and we're not even going to stay in America. There were a lot of big wins, a lot of big races, but I think the best performance I saw this week was dominance. From the pole, leading all 71 laps in Austria, Max Verstappen is the Speedway Report Racer of the Week, with the Racer of the Week always a tip to the cap to Dave Despain and Motor Week Illustrated. Missed that quite a bit. But in between our broadcasts and our podcasts, when we drop, you can head to speedwayreport.com if you missed the live show. They're all archived right there. Feel free to download any one of them, especially for your summer road trips. Catch up with us on all the social media. On Facebook, Speedway Report with Patrick Reynolds and Racers Reunion. On Twitter, you go to Speedway Report or at Speedway Pat. RacersReunion.com in the forum. And like I said at the top of the show, our YouTube channel. Find us anytime, no matter when we drop. Big thanks for everyone at the Facebook Live for watching us at this time as we go on a Monday afternoon. Big thanks to the military past and present for the freedoms we enjoy as Americans in our daily life, including the simple things like bench racing right here on a Monday night, or a Monday afternoon in this case. Freedom is not free, and a veteran paid the bill for us. To all of the men and women who are defending freedom and watching Speedway Report, you take care of yourselves and come home soon. A special salute to the teachers, school staff, firefighters, police officers, and paramedics in our own communities. They are quiet and modest heroes every single day. God bless and thank you. You've been watching Speedway Report from the shores of Lake Norman in Race City, USA. Mooresville, North Carolina. Please like our Facebook page, Speedway Report with Patrick Reynolds, and you can follow me on Twitter at Speedway Pat. Now, every Monday night on Facebook on the Drag Racing List page, Drag List Live is there. Take you through all the drag racing news. Bill Pratt and John Bachman join you on their page at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday evenings. Facebook Drag Racing List. I'll be back live here on Facebook as time and events and shows warrant. I'm just going to hop on here from time to time, hopefully weekly, maybe multi-weekly, and you can download us anytime. Anything that strikes my fancy in the world of motorsports, I'll talk to you about it. If you missed the live show when it drops, we're in the world of podcasting. You can head to the Speedway Report website, Speedway Report social media, Speedway Report YouTube. We are there. We'd love to talk to you. You take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see y'all next time.